Hi everybody, and welcome back to the final session here in the Debussy Theatre. What a brilliant week we've had, and we're going to end it in some style. Hope you've enjoyed everything that we've had to offer at the festival so far. You know how to do it by now. Go to the app and please give us any feedback on the session that you went to. So now, on to our final talk, which you're all here for, which is brought to you by Goodby Silverstein and Partners. And we are delighted to welcome Grammy Award-winning recording artist, entrepreneur, and philanthropist Megan Thee Stallion, along with Jessica Spaulding. She's coming. Along with Jessica Spaulding, Chief Marketing Officer of Pepsi Foods Canada, and Margaret Johnson, Partner and Chief Creative Officer of Goodby Silverstein and Partners. So they're sitting down with us to talk about how they have evolved and innovated together to create a roadmap for the future of brand partnerships. But first, a message from Frito-Lay's Rachel Ferdinando, who unfortunately could not be here today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Ferdinando, CMO of Frito-Lay, and we couldn't be more excited to speak with you today on the topic of if you're not first, you're last. This specific story started a year ago. We set out to elevate Flaming Hot from not just being a flavor, but to truly being a standalone brand. Given its huge following of fans, the time had come to give this platform the attention it deserved. And there's no bigger stage than the Super Bowl to do this. Research said that Flamin' Hot is not just a snack. It stands for pushing against norms, rebelling against the status quo, and showcasing your edge. And I know a number of you in this audience today truly are rebels. So we set out to capture the passion of this audience through one of its biggest fans, one of the biggest fans on the planet, Megan Thee Stallion, and her following of hotties, or as we fondly call them, Flamin' Hotties. Truly, it's the authenticity and innovation of partnerships like this that help us push the boundaries of what we as marketers can achieve. And though I sadly can't be there today in person, the three incredible women you're about to hear from on stage will help give you a deeper understanding of how this partnership has helped us create one of the most successful brand launches in Frito-Lay history. Enjoy the show.
In a bag of flaming hot chips. I'ma keep this shit 100. He wanna get on the beat, getting punished. Let's eat this shit 250. Deep down, hope know that they can't with me. Cat talk back like Chester. Let them know up front, I ain't doing nothing extra. Real hot girl shit. Damn, I'm so hot, can't touch me. Just like kills me, finish my subject. City all heavy up, all this bullshit.
Oh, shit. Shoot.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here with these two incredible women. They have built their careers on firsts, doing things that have never been done before. So I think we're just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Meg, the first time I ever heard your music, I was like, okay, this girl is absolutely brazen. She is fearless. She is breaking ground, especially for women in music, which I love. Talk a little bit about like why firsts are important to you.
I feel like being a first of something is super important to me because it's like I've come behind so many great women that have gave me such great examples. So to carry on and take what I learned from them and make it Megan Thee Stallion and be the first at it, I feel like I'm making the women who came before me proud. I feel like I'm making my mom proud, and I feel like it's always great to like just come up with a new idea, because everybody's like, oh, everything under the sun has been done, but no, girl, I made this up.
I mean, you definitely have a lot of firsts. You were the first female rapper, right, to rap at the Oscars.
Yes.
First. That's really awesome. She's also the first female rapper on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I think you had the first music video to get dropped on a flaming hot chip.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, Jessica.
Yeah.
Tell me why firsts are important to you.
Yeah, no, so, at Frito-Lay, I think we have just an amazing legacy of first. It's so exciting to be a marketer on these incredible, iconic brands. And, we were the first, brand to let our consumers create their own Super Bowl ads with Doritos Crash the Super Bowl. We were the first, brand to have the ability for the consumers to steal their own chips from a Super Bowl ad with the It Wasn't Me Cheetos Super Bowl ad. But I think this campaign is really what I want to talk about, because this is where we did a lot of firsts together. I think we started out with 3 kind of main components. We had a really amazing innovation with Doritos Flaming Hot Cool Ranch. We had, we knew we had a 60-second spot in the Super Bowl. And then we just had the shared ambition of elevating Flaming Hot into more than a brand and really, truly a platform. And so where we started, we kind of, spent a ton of time with consumers. This Flaming Hot lifestyle exists. And, we're really, we knew that we had to deliver something that was really in service of that and lived up to it. And so, we started to work with our consumers and to really understand, everyone has a flamin' hot side. I can see it out there. Our job was to unleash it. And so whether it was animals in the forest, whether it was the flamin' hot track that Meg dropped, whether it was kind of all the different components, it became much more than a 60-second spot. And we just knew for this brand and for this partnership, we had to be super bold and take some risks.
Well, that's interesting because firsts come with a lot of risks.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the potential downsides?
Yeah, I don't think we play it safe. I think it's pretty clear. And we knew that obviously there's the tried and true of not alienating your consumer. We need to make sure that we're really delivering against what the brand stands for. But I actually think in order to be able to take risks, you have to have a ton of trust. And I think we're so fortunate because Meg, I felt like really trusted us. We really trusted Meg. We have such a long-standing relationship at Frito-Lay with Goodby. We have an amazing music and culture agency, Shaker Maker, that is helping us have all this come together. And that really allowed the creativity to soar because it came from a really safe space.
Meg, what about you? Like, when you're doing something for the very first time, like, what is it that keeps you up at night? What are you stressing about?
I feel like, I get my sleep. I don't really stress at night. But just knowing that I have like a platform to make a difference and, say what I have to say, I feel like it's exciting to be doing something new for the first time. It's exciting to be a creator. It's exciting for people to like see what you really work so hard towards. So I'm just like, I know I want to do this. I know I like it. So fingers crossed everybody else like it. But for those who it's for, that's who it's for.
It's so much about being authentic and like being who you really are. I feel like your fans expect that from you, right?
They expect no less.
So I have a question about authenticity. I hear that you're a Flamin' Hot fan. Is that authentic?
Obviously. All my life, like as soon as I knew what hot Cheetos were, in the South, apparently we the ones who call it hot chips. I thought everybody called them hot chips. But ever since I was young, like as soon as I knew what hot Cheetos were, I was eating them. Like I would eat them for breakfast at school, in middle school, all throughout high school, hot Cheetos, hot fries. Like that was my thing.
Well, I heard when you signed with Roc Nation that they actually, well, you tell them what happened.
Okay, so everybody knows I love hot Cheetos, but when I first ever got signed to Roc Nation, I thought I was coming in my meeting and it was just gonna be, like Roc Nation staff, like showing me around. And I'm, talking to everybody, they're showing me things and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then like Jay-Z walks in the room and I'm like, I didn't know Jay-Z was coming to my meeting. But he comes in the room and he has like 6 platters of hot Cheetos. And he's like, I heard you like hot Cheetos. And I was like, sold, I'm signing here.
So Jess, when you're working with oh wait, let's go back to that actually.
Yeah.
Let's go back
to that.
That's you dancing. That was like before you ever knew anything about being a partner with Frito-Lay, right? What is going on here?
So everywhere I go, like on my rider, like when I go to a photo shoot or a video shoot, I have to have hot Cheetos. And like, this is just a normal day in between shooting. And I told my hairstylist, I was like, take a video of me. And I was just eating my favorite Cheetos.
All right, Jess, so when you're considering these partnerships with celebrities, like how does authenticity really factor into everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything, right? If you're going to try to really break through meaningfully in culture, if you're going to try to build your brand equity, it has to be someone who has kind of a shared passion. Otherwise, I think it comes, the fans call you out immediately. Like, we see that when stuff's not right, we hear from our fans, and so we're so fortunate. I mean, Meg was such a fan, and we're really able to tap into kind of that passion that she naturally had for the brands, and it was something that we were really excited to be able to kind of create.
That's awesome. All right, let's take a step back. So, Meg, when you were starting out and you were uploading videos to YouTube, what weren't you seeing out there that you thought you could bring to the table and do differently?
I felt like just in general, like YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, I felt like everybody kind of looked like a robot. Like, everything looked like a commercial. And I feel like on my page, I always tell everybody, I do not want this to look like an ad. I do not want this to look like a sponsorship. Like, it needs to be real. Because I feel like my hotties, they know me and they know when something's not right. So I feel like I have to be me 100%. I have to be able to do what I want to do. I have to be able to be a part of my own creative, because I can't sell it if I don't like it. So if I'm not really naturally into it, I feel like it's not going to look natural. And I feel like right now, a lot of times things look forced because people are just doing things because it seems cool, or, for the coin, we love a coin. But at least you need to look like you having fun. And I feel like me, I always need to really genuinely love it, because I need to be authentic. I need to be Megan, because if I can't be Megan, then who the hell else could I be?
Yeah. Well, tell us about the name Megan Thee Stallion. Like, where did that come from?
So my real name is Megan. But in the South, a woman that is tall and fine, like stacked, curvy, is called a stallion. So one day I was like at this football game, I was like in the 9th grade, and I've been looking just like this probably since I was 14. So nobody ever knew how old I was. Like, the guys that, I'll be like, go to jail, I'm only 15. So this man came up to me, he was like, oh yeah, what's up, you a stallion? I was like, Like, so I went home and I was like, Uncle, this man called me a stallion, why would he say that? He was like, well, Megan, that means that you're tall and, good looking, thick. I was like, oh, I am that. So, so I changed all my social media to the Stallion, and that has been my name since the 9th grade.
Amazing. All right, so Jessica, tell us how this relationship got started.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, we're a fan. Like, we spend a lot of time in culture. We listen to your music. We're kind of following along, and you just so organically and generously showed so much love for the brand that we kind of started talking. We maybe sent some orange flowers your way, for us, it wasn't if, but when. Like, we knew that we needed something that was super surprising, something that could really hold the level of stardom that Meg can bring to the party. And so we were really looking for the right opportunity to be able to pull it together. And, I think, no bigger stage than the Super Bowl, but then I think what we kind of brought in alongside of it was just so incredible. And, one of the things, just going back a little bit to Meg's authenticity, which was, allowed us to build such a compelling platform was, we'd send Meg some things and she'd be like, that's not it. It's not there yet. So whether it's the album cover that you saw or the dancing, you allowed us access to your entire team. And so your choreographer did the whole dance. Your album artist did our album art. Like, it was a genuine co-creation in that sense. And it was just, I think it made the work so much better for it.
Well, the whole thing is kind of serendipitous because while you two had been talking, then meanwhile at the agency we were cooking up ideas for Super Bowl, and we ended up presenting Push It.
Yeah.
And not knowing that, Megan, you were a fan of Salt and Peppa, and so it just kind of all came together beautifully, right?
I think that's the cool thing is that we knew we had this killer insight. We had this whole community of fans out there that really deserve something special. We had this amazing creative platform from Goodby, and then Meg came on and lit the thing on fire.
Yes. Well, okay, co-creation is a big part of what we were doing together for Super Bowl, and we started with a teaser. So maybe we take a look at that and we can talk a little bit more.
Great.
team of pros and check-in. Hi, checking in?
Yep, it's me, Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, here you are. Just a couple questions. Any allergies, like cats, dogs?
Nope.
And deer?
I'm sorry, what?
How about a fox, bear, water buffalo? What about a sloth?
A sloth.
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 Sloth allergies? Yeah.
No.
Great. This way.
Okay.
And one more thing. You're comfortable around crocodiles, right?
A crock of what?
You ad-libbed a lot
Yeah.
on set. That was kind of one of the things that you wanted to do, and that last line was
Yeah.
was one you came up with. What was it like, just the experience of kind of co-creating the ad for the Super Bowl?
So, like I said, when I go into things, I like to be me, and y'all said, Megan, just go out there and be Megan. I said, okay, sure. And I mean, the lady that was in the commercial with me, she was so nice, and we were just kind of going back and forth, and I could hear all y'all cracking up in the back. So I was like, this must be the right thing to do. It feels good. So it was just so easy. Like, I would be doing this anyway. Like, I'll be walking around eating hot Cheetos wherever I was at anyways. So it was just natural.
So, Jess, there's a lot of trust that has to happen here. What's it like handing over the reins to this provocative superstar on such a high-profile, multi-million-dollar project?
Yeah, what could go wrong, right? But I think going back to the piece of really having trust, and we wanted the one guarantee we had was that Meg was going to be Meg, and that is what we wanted. I think sometimes brands need to get out of the way a little bit. Meg knows her audience better than anyone. She knows the hotties and what they want. And so, I think that's where that co-creation really started to come to life, whether it was, on the dance that we were able to do, even on the scripts. We were, up into the shoot, kind of going back and forth on what the script should look like. Not just your amazing ad libs, but it was truly, truly a partnership of kind of creating all these pieces of content that really led to this kind of bigger platform. And, I think one of the things that we, as we look to kind of co-creation and partnerships, we want somebody who has a point of view. We want somebody who really, can go in there and start to make the project better with their kind of amazing creative spirit. And that's, something that Meg was able to do with us.
All right, so we did the teaser, right? But then we moved on to the actual commercial. So I was just curious what you thought when we asked you to be the bird.
I was like, well, I better be the best bird that Cheetos ever saw. But it was so exciting. This was so special to me because this was the first time I ever even been to the Super Bowl. So I'm sitting in the Rock Nation box, and it's all these rappers, and we all in the section, and the commercial comes on, and I'm like, look, I'm the bird. And everybody was so happy. We were all clapping. We just felt proud,
Oh, that's great. Well, we worked with an animation company called Untold out of the UK, and we worked a lot on the movement of the bird because we wanted it to have, we wanted it to be sassy like you are, and have that same attitude. So hopefully that comes through. Let's take a look at the spot. One of your dreams was to actually be in a Super Bowl commercial. So what did you think when you were asked?
Like I said, I was like, this is just so amazing. I really must be famous.
I love that. All of her accolades, and she's finally thinks she's famous.
But this was so cool. I don't know. Probably because I feel like it's like a full circle moment. I genuinely already loved hot Cheetos. Like that was genuinely like something I was already into. And when I first got signed to Roc Nation, they was like, Megan, what do you want? Like, is there anything that we could do that you don't have? And I was like, I want to deal with hot Cheetos. Like, and I was just saying it, not knowing that they, not thinking that they couldn't do it, but like just whatever, they said, whatever you want, let's name it. And I'm like, okay, hot Cheetos. Give me the deal. And it happened, and I was like, well, Lord, I guess if I keep saying what I want out loud, it's gonna happen.
Well, let's
So-
talk, there's another like big co-creation piece to this story. So you collaborated with Salt and Pepper for the music on the commercial. Then we created the song that we dropped on Spotify. Had you ever met them before?
No, I hadn't met them before this. But I met Peppa like later on at like a Glamour Woman of the Year event. And I was like, Peppa, did you hear my Flamin' Hottie song? She was like, yes, Megan, it was dope, da-da-da. We was cursing, so I'm gonna say it right now. But she was like, that was fire, Megan. You know, and so we were just having a back and forth conversation because my mom actually really loves Salt and Pepper. So like to be around some women that my mama definitely put me on and told me, I thought my mom was the coolest lady in the world. So if she thought it was cool, then it must be the best. So when I met them and they, you know, gave me my props and, you know, just gave me my pat on the back, I felt like, yes, Salt and Pepper, the OGs told me I was that girl, so I know I'm that girl.
Well, I love, there's a quote that Peppa said that night. I'm gonna read it. We help open the doors, but Megan, she came in and kicked the door down, pulled up a seat at the table, ordered a big dinner, and poured hottie sauce all over the damn thing. So what was it like reimagining a song with like some of your idols?
It was really crazy, like just to see these women that really started it, and come behind them and they give you the stamp of approval, like
Yeah, that's awesome.
that is a really great feeling.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about, you can't really talk about First without talking about innovation. And Jess, you and I talk about innovation a ton and how important it is to our brand. Why does it even matter? Like, why do brands even care about innovation?
Yeah, I mean, we're a little obsessed with it, I think. You know, it's in our DNA. I think it's something that in order to really, you know, be in service of our consumers, they frankly demand it. Meg's fans demand it, our fans demand it, the Flaming Hotties demand it. And so we spend a lot of time talking about how can we bring first of its kind technology to our campaigns. And you know, we really push our partners, and we had great partners with Snapchat and Spotify as part of this 360 campaign of we want something that's new to the world. We can't just show up with a filter. We can't just show up with what's been done before. It's not going to be enough for what we're trying to achieve and for the ambition of this work. And so that's where, you know, we were really able to I think, you know, create something really amazing.
Well, Snackable Screens is a really great example of that.
It actually won a Cannes Lion this week.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it did.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yay. So, Meg, what did you think when we came to you and said we want to drop this music video on a Flamin' Hot chip?
I didn't understand at first. I'm like, okay, like literally on a chip. Okay. I was like, well, you know what? Whoever is coming up with these ideas, give them the raise. Like, if y'all can make this happen, then what can we do next? How are you gonna come behind Flamin' Hot after we danced on a chip? What can you do after this?
Well, this
So I don't know.
it wasn't the first time you've worked with Snapchat, though, right?
No, not the first time I worked with Snapchat, but the first time Snapchat made people dance on a chip. So, yeah.
Well, you have a show, right?
Yes, it's called Off the Leashes with all my animals. I have like 6 dogs. I have an iguana. I'm thinking about adopting a pig. I'm serious. It's a fun show.
That's funny. Okay, so what was it like creating music with a brand, like with Frito-Lay? Were you at all nervous
I was
about
nervous
that?
because, okay, just being real, being very transparent. Sometimes when a brand comes to me and they want me to do something, it's like a long bullet point list of things I cannot do. And I don't like that. And sometimes I feel like the things that people want me to do are not true to me, and I don't like how it comes out. Like, if it's not really Megan Thee Stallion, I feel like my fans are not gonna like it as well.
Why hire you then, right?
Why are you asking me to do anything if I can't be Megan Thee Stallion? But what I really liked about this collaboration, and when y'all asked me to do a song, I was like, look, can I be me? Can I say what I want to say? Y'all, I barely had any rules. Barely had any rules. But I was able to be me, and that's what I really liked. And I feel like that's why my fans still listen to the song to this day. I feel like they still talking about it. They still love it because I was able to be Megan. I didn't have to be a robot.
I think that was a huge risk that we kind of collectively took together. It happened over the holidays. You turned it around I mean, brilliantly fast. And we just need a clean version was really the only ask from the brand side. But I think that trust really showed up in that because you delivered such an amazing track for the brand. And it was one, if we tried to create it, it wouldn't have worked. And so I think that's where that trust piece really helped elevate the work.
I mean, I think on the innovation front, one of the things that I'm most proud of from our agency is that we have a maker culture. And we have an in-house innovation lab, and they were the ones who actually came to us with this technology and said, hey, you can actually turn a chip into a screening platform. And they actually taught this machine learning system how to read a chip as a screen. They literally showed it 5,000 Cheetos and Doritos, and then it finally would recognize the chip, and we had a prototype where we could drop the video in. And then that's when we went to Snapchat and said, okay, we want you guys to help us build this thing out. They created the AR, and it was pretty seamless, right? You just launched Snapchat and point your phone at the chip, and then you got to watch the video.
I think that's one of the cool things of working with such an amazing creative partner like Goodby is you guys bring us these crazy ideas all the time. And that was one where we saw in many of our meetings over a long period of time of what we were going to do together. And we're like, we need to go do that. It just was one of those ideas that you knew had to happen. Yeah. And you guys were able to partner with Snapchat and make it happen.
Well, let's talk about payoffs. What happened? What were the results from all of this for Frito-Lay?
Yeah, I mean, so it was the most successful Frito-Lay launch that we've ever had, which is super exciting. We had 54 billion earned media impressions on this campaign, which was record-setting for us. And we like to be first. We were the first #1 in share of voice for all the Super Bowl advertisers. #1 ad that drove purchase intent. #1 most likable ad and top 3 in ad meter. But I think even more importantly, it drove our business. So we were able to grow Flaming Hot double digits, so 13%. And this Flaming Hot Cool Ranch Doritos that we launched in February is already over $60 million as an innovation. So.
Oh my gosh.
It's just incredible results, and just so proud of the creative as well.
That's great. What about for you? What's the payoff? Why do you do this kind of stuff?
I mean, for me, I feel like I include my hotties in so many of my accomplishments and so many of my, milestones that I go through as an artist. And I feel like this was one of the things where I was like, hotties, look, we got to deal with hot Cheetos. Look at us. We had the Super Bowl on TV with hot Cheetos. And I feel like me and all my fans were definitely like, wow, we have really come a long way because they saw me rapping on the rooftops of things to being able to see me in a Super Bowl commercial with some of our favorite things.
Well, let's talk about the hotties for a second. Who are the hotties?
The hotties are everybody who is with the word of the hot girl. Yes. Okay, friend. Okay. But yeah, the hotties are just my supporters. Everybody that, loves being a hot girl, loves doing what they want to do, loves themselves, unapologetically them,
Mm-hmm. Well, it also feels like you use this platform to amplify messages that you think are really important to you.
Yeah.
And you're involved in a lot of different social causes. You want to talk a little bit about some of the things you're most interested in?
I'm always advocating for women. I'm always advocating for Black women. I'm always definitely education. I'm always pushing education. You could be a hot girl and get your degree because I did.
Do you know that she actually put herself through school as she was rising to the top? You actually just graduated.
Yeah. In 2021.
Not sure how you found time for that.
Baby, once I started making money, I was like, oh yeah, let me pay for this school and get out of here. But no, I graduated with my degree in healthcare administration. Nothing to do with music, surprisingly. But it's something that I really want to do. Once I start something, I really have to finish it. And I definitely always encourage my hotties, look, you can get your education. You are never too old to learn. It's never too late to go back to school. And I have a foundation that I just started, in honor of my late parents, called the Pete and Thomas Foundation. So, anytime I partner with a brand, I'm like, look, can y'all include in my deal that we could put some of this money towards my foundation so I can give back? Because I always love giving out scholarships, and I love, helping my city, any city, but, my foundation is based around Houston. Anytime a disaster happens, yeah. Anytime anything happens, I got money to give back to the city that made me and that raised me, and that's what it's all about for me.
Oh, that's That's great.
And I think that's the real Meg, right? I think it's incredible. And it's a really big shared value that we have with Frito-Lay of our role within the community, and so I think it's another reason why this partnership felt so right.
Awesome. All right, well, we're coming to the end here. I think one burning question is, what's next? Like, what will Frito-Lay and Megan Thee Stallion be cooking up next? So we did a little bit of research with the hotties and just asked them, like, what do they want to see? And I shared this with these two earlier today, and so they've seen these. But the first one, you guessed it, was...
I knew they were going to say we want merch.
Yes, so they want a Flamin' Hot fashion line designed by you. What in the world would that be like?
I know they're going to want two-piece sets. They're going to want booty shorts. Anything like backpacks, I will wear like a Flamin' Hot purse, me personally. But yeah, I know my hotties, we just like to have a good time, so anything they could party in.
Well, it feels like the hotties also want to be a part of everything. So another thing that they threw out was a documentary about you and the hotties and the Flamin' Hot lifestyle.
Yes, I love that. They're so smart.
Yeah, they are. So Netflix, if you're out there, let's get this going. And then finally, a product, right? They want a flavor, a signature Megan Thee Stallion flavor.
Who better than the #1 hottie to put together?
What would that flavor be like?
I mean, me being from the South, you know, something sweet, something spicy, maybe a little tahini flavor, I don't know.
Oh, tahini.
I feel like that'll be
Sounds
fire.
delicious.
Okay. Jess, are you in?
Are you in, Meg? I'm in.
I'm here.
Yeah. You know, I think one of the things we really wanted to set out was a long-term partnership. It's really important to us at Frito-Lay to have an ongoing relationship with our partners and our co-creators. And so, you know, Meg was a fan and she turned to the face of the brand. And I think there's no limit on how Flamin' Hot we can make it. So I'm excited. Let's go.
All right. Well, look, thanks so much for having this conversation today.
Thank you.
It's been really, really fun.
Thank you.
Any last words? Nice.
Yeah, y'all come.
Thank you so much, Megan, Jessica, and Margaret. What an amazing way to close out our week here in the Debussy Theatre. Thank you. So that's it from the Debussy for this year's Lions. Thank you all so much for joining us over the past 4 days. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Night, everyone.